got international break. They won't want to send players away. Saka will be one in that England squad.
I know he's in the squad.
He doesn't make today, but you know, if there's a friendly first and then there's a qualifying game, and at that point, and you sort of go, well, if the injury is only a muscle injury, it's 4 or 5 days. Well, we feel like he can come and join up.
They take them nowadays. But if he hasn't played in his last league game,
but if it's 10 days before the next game,
well, that's the thing, because obviously it's an important game against Italy, and they're not too far away from England. They want to, qualify for the next tournament. So but I don't think Saka will be risked. If he doesn't play here, it's a hamstring injury, it's difficult. It's the first time he's really had a proper muscle injury. It's always contact injuries with him. And I think he probably didn't realise. I think he thought he was okay. Tried it in the build-up, I believe, to this, and he's felt it again. So I don't think they'll be taking any risk with him.
He played, what, 87 league games in a row, a club record for Arsenal.
But if it's not right, it's not right. They've come away with it. You've protected him. You've got to make sure he's not out for 6 weeks, 8 weeks with muscle injuries, and that's the problem. But they've managed to get the result. And now it needs managing, which I think it will be managed between, obviously, the national team and Arsenal. But it's like every player now going out. How much do they play? Do they play in both games? Do they play in one? It's normal practice. But again, probably the managers are thinking we just don't need another one so quickly.
Yeah, it's just looking at the long-term effects it could have on Saka. We've seen players who are just electric and breathtaking at a young age, playing regular football at 18, sometimes 17 years old, 19 years old. And by the time they hit 26, 27, they've had so many miles on the clock. I think the best example would actually be Michael Owen, where his injuries weren't managed. I think he's spoken about it himself. It's not coming from me. At such a young age.
Yeah, but that was a tendon injury, which is the hamstring, which is really critical. When you do that, you're in trouble.
But it wasn't handled correctly.
No, but I think Saka here it's normal wear and tear. You're going to have a problem with your hamstring. You're going to play that number of games. The thing is, it's about the calendar, isn't it? It's about the number of games. I've kind of been. A lot of people talk about. I'm trying to look at the welfare of players, and it's like the players want to play in every game, but it's not possible to be fit to play in every game because the workload is so demanding now. Because there's more and more games. Man City now in a Super Cup, they've got a World Cup competition to play in. Every time you win something, you've got to play in something else. And it's more and more games. And, tonight, I think City have, actually, to get to this stage, when you look at some of the players they've lost this season with Grealish and Silva and De Bruyne, they've done very well. And I think it just hit them now that it was one injury or one suspension too many. Because, Gundogan was allowed to leave in the summer, and you can't keep letting quality players go. But it's a natural thing that he evolves. It's been a brilliant process. You think the season before he let Sterling go, didn't he? And he let Jesus go, but still they win a treble. So that it's organic the way he does it. But I think now it's about building and sticking with what he has.
The football club are very good at that. To be fair, it's Manchester City, they realise that certain players, Riyad Mahrez left, when they weren't really expecting that situation as well.
Another big move.
But they acted quickly. Last year, the Akanji one did it very, very quickly.
Great
managed
signing.
to get him, wonderful signing. And we've seen Vardiol, they lined that one up for a long period of time. So they're always active. Nunes was a late one because of Kevin De Bruyne. So Cole Palmer probably was the one that made way to bring that sort of number 8, somebody who can unlock and drive through the middle of the pitch and create something. It had to be done at times. And that's where you say, well, why do you sacrifice a particular player like a homegrown with Cole Palmer? But he looks and says, well, OK, he's not being played so much in that wider area. I could maybe just play somebody who can come through that who's available. Yeah. So, listen, I think these clubs have always got to adapt. City are ahead of the game generally with the recruitment and what they've needed. And you look at Arsenal now. They'll be looking and saying, right, what's available? How can we get better again? They'll already be seeing these players, and this is a nice one for the managers to get a little bit of a rest, but to go and maybe view a few players that are on international to see if they are going to be ever to join their squad.